He's the smooth talking, jive walking, coffee drinking, organic banana eating, the one and only, your favorite morning host. It's Adam Josh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the farm here on December 5th, 2024 in the hillside of the Algarve. I probably couldn't have framed this shot better because this guy right here, is the sun. But it's the morning sun coming over the hillside of our farm in the Algarve here. It's almost 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. And this is what I was saying in the previous morning banana shows, that because we're in the hillside, it's like you benefit, right? So sometimes of the year you would benefit from a protracted or a delayed sunrise, and other times you would not benefit from it. Like, I guess, for instance, like a lot of people, the locals here, think it's cold right now. So for them, they want the sun immediately. But when that sun is overhead, it's the Mediterranean sun. So just distance-wise, in proximity to the Earth, I feel like it is directly overhead, and so it's warmer. Anyway, welcome to the show. My name is Adam. Grab a banana. Little chit-chat. I learned from my mistakes. And on episode number 198, I ate a bowl of cereal. It's not my first time eating a bowl of cereal on the Morning Banana Show, because my kids, one's a teenager and one's 11, and they eat cereal. So I don't normally eat cereal, but so before I retired, I would have a banana for breakfast, which is how the whole Morning Banana Show started, because it was a portable and mobile snack. But now that the kids I'm retired and the kids are eating all this different cereal, sometimes I try it. There's a couple that they made that I liked, or a couple that they bought that I like. So let's be honest here. A couple that I bought for them that they eat that I like. There we go. So I was having a couple bowls, and I regret having a bowl of cereal on the Morning Banana Show. You think a banana is distracting? Try to finish a thought or a sentence while you're eating a bowl of cereal. It's just not going to work. See? Watch. And as I was saying, we can continue the conversation even though I've had a bite of banana. And the banana in my mouth is not making a lot of noise as I chew it. And I can put it down and get back to the topic. So it's December 5th. And in Niagara, Canada, the snow has finally arrived. If you're watching from Niagara, Canada, and you're curious, does Adam miss shoveling snow? You know what I like? Check this out. I've talked about this before, but see that condensation that builds up on the banana palm leaves? That condensation is just temperature differentials from hot to cold. It didn't rain last night. This is just the morning dew. So in the rainy season, there's a combination of the morning dew, which I also noticed in March. But there's a combination of the morning dew and rain that is watering the plants. So yesterday, I thought, I'm going to see if they need any water, maybe even my pineapple guava that I recently planted outside of the banana circle. We have a pineapple guava circle going on now. The best way to check the if it needs watering here in the Algarve is to get your fingers in it and feel the soil. And I did that, and the soil was damp all around everywhere. And it's a combination of, because this obviously settles on the ground and it's raining periodically. Sometimes it'll rain like a mist at night. But I've shown you guys before, and if you haven't seen, like this backdrop that I have where everything is green, it's the same thing in the hillside. It's the same thing when you drive through central Portugal all the way from south to north until you hit until you hit Spain on either side. That's why I joke around and say, oh, it's like the Garden of Eden. I'm Adam. I watched the documentary Christspiracy, which proposes the idea that Yeshua from 2,000 years ago, the guy who was crucified by the Romans, this guy was actually a vegan animal rights activist, and one of the things that set people off against him was that he drove out the animals from the temple and also the money changers, and called it a den of thieves. And he was flabbergasted by the commodification of animals. Also, in that documentary, they say, although he was around fishermen and recruited fishermen, he was not a pescatarian. He was an animal rights activist, because the Essenes back then, I guess, were strict vegetarians, and he adopted their lifestyle. This is some out there stuff. But taking it back to the Garden of Eden, I've read the book of Genesis or Bereshith like at least 13 or 14 times, and without anybody telling me this, I could read it, maybe not the first time, second time, third time. Like, you read the thing about 10 times, you start picking up weird things, right? So you don't read the book, your level of consciousness reads the Bible. So if you've read the Bible like once, for example, I would say try like 5 more times from front to back. And then on the 6th time, we'll have a conversation about the things that are in the Bible. But you pick up different things, right? So maybe around the 9th or 10th time, I was like, I feel like the Bible, the biblical diet for the Garden of Eden was vegan or plant-based at least. So now all these years later, we have ChatGPT, and you can go on ChatGPT the same as I can and type in, was the biblical Garden of Eden diet a vegan diet or plant-based diet if you don't want to use the word vegan? And you'll see that I'm right. And I'm here in the Garden of Eden all these years later. My name is Adam. It's 2024. I've been a vegan for over 11 years. And you're welcome. You can return to Eden and learn all about it by coming to hang out. How we do vegan farming here. If you follow my X account at adamjosh.com, you'll see we had some sheep up the road. There's a shepherd. I have no idea where he is, but they roam like they're like Roma or Kurdish sheep, because they roam all over, go wherever they want to go. So he just kind of sticks with them and takes them for a walk around the hillside and eats different things. And they leave their number 2, their dookie, everywhere. And yeah, so yesterday they were up the hill a little bit. That was fun. I was on a video call with my sister, and I kept hearing, ah! I'm like, hold on, Ange. 1 second. Ah! I think there's goats or sheep somewhere. I couldn't place them. I was like looking all around. How cool would it be? My sister is shoveling snow and wearing like a parka with a scarf, and she's got white snow everywhere, and I'm in this backdrop, and I was going to show her sheep walking around, but I couldn't find them. But then later, when I drove up the hill, I found them. When the sun gets overhead, even now here in December, it's like 70 Fahrenheit. It's hot. It's warm. You can get a tan. You can get sun, even in this weather in December. But yeah, my personal favorite is the dew. I don't know. Some things really impress me about Mother Nature. This is one of them, like self-watering systems. Coming from Niagara, you're looking at the abandoned hillside. These are all, a lot of them are fruit trees, right? That I can see off in the distance. A lot of them are fruit trees or things that you could eat. And they're abandoned, and they're all through Portugal, central Portugal, north to south. And you're like, who's watering these? That was my first instinct. What farmer is out there taking care of all this stuff? And the locals are just like, no one. No one's taking care of them. And I'm like, I'm not a very religious man, but I feel like God has blessed this land very clearly. We had a couple more guests to the farm the other day. This speaks to manifestation and just the power of it. If you follow my X account, I was over there and we were describing on a live stream. I'll link it underneath as I normally do. I bring the receipts in my threads, kind of like Nick Monroe or Crab Crawler, Lobster Onlooker. Shout out to Nick. He's into making threads on X, previously Twitter. And so am I. I've been on Twitter since it started with Jack, and it's now owned by whatever the guy's name is. And I like that train of thought that you can add to over the years, like an online journal. Should we go for banana number 2 or just stop it here? I got banana 2 and I got a Sharoni khaki / persimmon. Persimmon? Or in Germany or Aleman, they call it khaki. Here, they label it as Sharoni. Makes no sense. I'm not making excuses for it. It's just what they call it. One day, maybe next year, I hope to get some actual bananas out of these guys. I feel like Devani, Little Kim, Banana Bill. One of them is going to give me bananas first before the others, but I have a whole banana circle here. Somebody had told me, that I might be able to get a banana from them this year, but it doesn't work like that yet. I've been to Orchard of Flavors. I've been to many places that actually have banana trees that are giving bananas, and basically they don't look like they're about to make me some bananas, but I know how the cycle goes now, and so I know what to expect. So we were manifesting. I didn't realize it. I did know what I was doing. We were doing a live stream, and I was saying to Desiree, hey, let's describe our ideal guest. And then basically 2 days later, or a day later, the ideal guest showed up. I said they would have an RV, they would be a family like us, and they would hang out with us, but not for too long. They did exactly that. These people manifested. We manifested the vibe. I'm going to play the live stream for Desiree after this so she can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so they were originally, I think, from America. One of the kids was Caden's age and one was Tyler's age. And they're plant-based family that are looking to buy land in Portugal. So they came in their RV and hung out, and we made them burritos, and we had a great time chatting. And it was easy, and I think that was the cool part. Meeting people all over the world as I have, and talking to people all over the internets as I have. Sometimes things are forced and you feel like people are taking your energy, you're giving, it's not equal. This was like effortless, like you've known them forever. And I recognize that when I see it. I feel like Desiree's on her way back. We can listen to Desiree. Yeah, she's coming down the hill. You might see her. This is our secondary driveway that I built, which is now turned into the primary driveway because it's just easier and we like this road better. We'll wave at her. I'm waving. Who knows what she's doing? I don't know. She's like, I want to be on the show. I don't want to be on the show. Hello! There she goes. Pretty cool, right? Road access right behind the Morning Banana Show set. Anyway, this is Morning Banana Show number 199. It's a lot of bananas that we've had together. The show started in like Niagara as an idea because I noticed that I was having bananas for breakfast because they were a portable snack. And that was 5-6 years ago. We started the Morning Banana Show. It's December, so we're going into 2025. It'll be like the year 6 or 7 of the show. And so I wanted to announce here something very special for you guys who have been a part of the experience. Tune into the next Morning Banana Show, number 200, and make sure when you watch it to like and subscribe. And for the first time ever on episode 200, I would really appreciate you guys to leave a comment below. And I plan on opening up the comment section on episode 200. And from then onwards, I will leave the comments on my Morning Banana Show. I'm not going to be leaving comments on my other YouTube channels. You know, I have like a YouTube channel for my music, for long form vlogs and more spiritual deep things. I have a YouTube channel that I use for like how I how I did certain things, how I stopped drinking, how I stopped smoking, how I stopped fapping. Those things to me are like pieces of artwork that it is what it is. It's like you've painted a Picasso, you've done some artwork, and I don't need the comments under those type of pieces of work, especially my music. But here, what I've noticed, and basically you guys have convinced me, it's not the other way around. I've had like the guy Mark that showed up, and these last people, a lot of people have found our area and found me and found our family because of the community that we've been building of like-minded people on YouTube. And so this is a object lesson for you YouTube content creators. I never saw myself as a YouTube content creator. I've not monetized anything. And even though I've had the YouTube comment section off, despite all that, you are still making a community with me in real time. And people are still reaching out, and they're still showing up and hanging out with us. And they say, because we saw you on YouTube. So even when you're not trying, I'm not intentionally trying. But now basically the people who watch the Morning Banana Show and the community that we're building has convinced me, you know what, maybe I can wiggle a little bit on this, because in my mind there's no wiggle room. It's just comments off. That's how I think. It's just a kind of an educated experiential decision that I came to years ago. It's not because I can't handle being criticized. In fact, the opposite. I probably enjoy being criticized a little too much. Like, my kids troll me and I love it. You have no idea. I was the OG troll. You have no idea. This whole trolling thing was like invented by your boy. It's okay. You don't know. You don't know, and you don't need to know how bad I was at trolling. How good I was at it. And it was so bad. I won't tell you. But anyway. Episode 200. The Morning Banana Show number 200. It'll be called episode 200 comments on, or something like that. And I encourage you guys to start chatting with me in the comments and to each other. One of the reasons that I didn't want comments on my stuff is because, as a guy who had a full-time job, who had his hands busy, who had things to do, like, I don't have time to moderate YouTube comments. And one of the things that I was really concerned about was that when there is blatant trolling and blatant name calling, whether it be racist or derogatory, I felt like I don't want these type of situations under my work, and I also don't want to be involved or dragged into a situation where I have to take a position on either of these things, because I'm not making videos to argue with people in comments. I think that was my overall point. And to keep my mental health focused on what I was doing, I thought, I don't have time to moderate YouTube, so I'm not gonna, and I'm not making any money from YouTube, so I'm not gonna pay somebody out of my own pocket to moderate my YouTube channel. That's kind of my logic. I feel like if you follow my train of thought there, you can understand what I'm saying. But Now, because I'm retired, I have more time on my hands, I might read all your comments and respond to them. I'm interested in the community now. I'm interested in this community that we're building, and I love you guys. No secret, I love you guys. You love me, and it's working out for us. And we're living our best lives here in Portugal, and it's just the beginning. So yeah, we've had a lot of cool people show up. The 22nd, we're doing a Secret Santa thing here, or don't get me started. Menino Jesus, Feliz Natal. I can't even. Pai Natal, Father Christmas. They have their own ideas here for holiday meals as well. The very popular holiday meal the Christmas season is salted codfish. And everybody knows here that salted codfish is the holiday meal. For context, it takes 10 liters per kilogram of salted cod to prep it, to get all that salt off, to prep it to cook. I mean, I can show you. I got a bird flying around. This is some borehole water. It looks like it's from the store, but it's not. It's just borehole water. Really clean borehole water. This is 6 liters, right? So imagine 10 liters for 1 kilogram of salted fish. And you're using that to soak the fish to get the salt off. And you soak it multiple times in clean water, which is why it gets added up to 10 liters. In the end, you get a bowl. If you were to measure the contents of the bowl, you basically go through 10 liters for every kilogram. If you're a hungry guy and you eat 2 kilograms of fish, 20 liters of water. And you're just throwing that water down the drain. It's brackish water. You can't really use it. So from the country that brought you, cada gota importa, or every drop counts, you get salted cod. The only thing I can compare that to is my frustration with being in Ontario or being in Canada, and December 28th, you start seeing chopped down pine trees in front of everyone's house because they're done with Christmas, and they take them out. They take all the garland off, and they expect the city to come by with the trucks and bring them to the compost. Yes, they're composted, so they're recycled in that sense. But if you just take a step back and think about, well, there's 30 million people in Canada. Maybe not all of them celebrate Christmas, but safe to say 20 million are celebrating Christmas, and that's 20 million trees that just Canada is chopping down every year. So I'm not saying plastic trees are better for the environment, but we need air to breathe to live. So imagine a species that routinely chops down trees every year. It doesn't make sense. It's like we're all fish, and every year we have a celebration where we take a thimble full of water from our tank and chuck it out because we're honoring the gods. Every year all the fish do that, and then the water keeps going down, and eventually we're just like, this year we got to honor all the gods, flapping around on the bottom of the fish tank. There's no more water left, and then we die. I don't know if the gods have grafted us into a death cult or not, but that's what it seems like. Chopping down trees every year. So in this case, in Portugal, they're not chopping down the trees every year. There's so many trees. But we're doing this cada gota importa, 10 liters for every kilogram of salted cod. And instead of salted cod, you could just have fresh fish if you're going to eat fish. You don't need to salt it in like ocean salt and then, leave it dry for God knows how long, and then unsalt it and then cook it. It's just a personal kind of pet peeve of mine. Like, there's so many ways. I understand salting things when there was no refrigeration, but we're in 2024 now. There's refrigeration. You can catch a fresh fish if you're eating it from the Atlantic, and then like that same day you can have it on your plate and eat it if you're a fish eater. So there's no need to go through the process of salting it, drying it out like beef jerky, letting it sit there for God knows how long, and then unsalting it with 10 liters of water per kilogram of fish just to cook it like you normally would a fresh fish. And it has a salty flavor to it, of course, still, because you can't get all the salt out. And that's like a holiday meal. So you have 10 million people in Portugal every year eating salted cod, and you can't even quantify how much water they're dumping down the drain while simultaneously saying every drop counts, and we have a drought. We have a drought. That's what they say. But like, Mother Nature is providing so much water for the plants. This is like, these are cultural things that you'll notice when you travel the world. You're like, if you travel the world like I have a little bit, I want to travel more, but if you travel the world, you'll notice these things, that every culture has some like quirks. Niagara has quirks too. Canada has quirks. America has quirks. I'll take these quirks over shoveling snow. With all that being said, we're at 26 minutes now. I try to keep the show to 10 minutes, so going to 26 minutes is not ideal. Needless to say, we're having this secret Santa Christmas exchange present thing for the kids here on the 22nd. If you want to be a part of it, you have to be in the Algarve and let us know. If you'd like to support me, one way you can do it is buy one of my Do Not Reincarnate t-shirts. Link in the description, link on my website. That puts some money in my pocket. There's a SIM card provider that if you want to buy an international SIM card or different SIM card, I get a little bit of a percentage of it. If you'd like to give me a straight donation or a gift to Bitcoin or a gift of DOGE, I have these two cryptocurrencies as an investor, and last I checked this morning, they're doing good. To be honest, all my investments are green. You know what I mean? Like, I've been investing for a long time. I have pictures of me with like stocks when I was a kid. One thing that I always quietly did while simultaneously working was hold stocks and invest. And so right now, in this weird time in my life at 43, I've been retired for a year. All my stocks are green. My crypto investments are green. And my real estate investments are up. So everything seems to be, the lesson is to start while you're young, I guess. To that point, I wrote a book about investing, and you can pre-order it from my website on the store link. And I'll be the first to tell you guys when I cross 1 million. I'm not a millionaire yet. And I could try to hack my own brain and say I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. I just don't want to lie to you guys and say like I have 1 million in liquidity, because I don't right now. We're on the path there though. So you'll be the first to know. Second to know, I'll be the first to know. You can support us by buying me a coffee. I love coffee. I drink it every day. There's a buy me a coffee link if you like the show, if you want to support us, if you like what we're doing here. You can send $5, buy me a coffee. I would appreciate that. There is lots of room here if you want to come hang out. You can look us up, come stay. Ideally, you come with an RV and park your RV over here on my RV parking, and we charge you like €10 a night. Not a big deal. You can learn about all different types of things in person. Yeah, so if you'd like to buy me a coffee, I would appreciate that. If you would like to, buy a t-shirt or whatever, that's cool. I appreciate that. Straight donations, like I said, or if you're in North America, you can just send anything to adam@adamjosh.com. You could send 5, 10, 20, 100 to adam@adamjosh.com through e-transfer, and I'll take that. I don't survive on your donations. I survive by my investments and the fact that we are resourceful. But your donations and building this community is what this is all about. I've been taking the money that we have been earning from like the events that we've had here, and I put it right back into the venue. So, for instance, right above the camera is a canopy tent, white tent thing that I purchased with money that we made from an event that we had here. So that's kind of how my mentality is. Like, let's expand the empire. The plan is one day I'll bring a couple more mobile tiny homes here that are nice. Desiree and I will buy another place in Portugal that's close and keep this as a farm that we can teach people how to live off grid. And the dream has shifted now from me to my kids, and I want my kids, one of them wants to be a pizza restaurateur, so I'm gonna be taking him to Italy to learn how to make pizza routinely. Probably once a year we'll be in Italy to learn how to make pizza authentically, and the other one wants to be a banker, so the plan is we will be taking him to Switzerland. We will have him get into banking and maybe even work as a teller for a while just to get the inner workings of a bank. But I think that the best education for being in commerce will probably be from Switzerland, which is fine because we can get there pretty easily, and he's got family there. But that's the plan. It's more about the kids now after our wedding is taken care of. Lots of progress on that. We hired a wedding planner, and I'll have a date announced eventually for you guys. We're doing things like trying to do things the right way. We found a ring. That's a really good improvement. We found it's a really good movement forward. It's a really good improvement. It's a good development. Well, everyone, thank you for watching the Morning Banana Show. I appreciate all your support, and tune in on number 200, the next one, and leave a comment. I'm going to have the comments on the next one, okay? Not this one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Are you tired of reincarnating? Me too! Now show the world that you don't want to reincarnate with this Do Not Reincarnate t-shirt!